friends. Welcome to Wonderful Word Wednesday. I'm Barb Nemechek.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jim Nemechek. Just preparing because I see on the wall the word is chill. So what's up with that?
Well, for the next few weeks, we're going to have messages about learning to stay chill or keeping cool.
I don't think that's too difficult at this time of year. After all, it's winter. So you just step outside, and if you don't have a coat on, you will definitely be chill.
That's true, but that's not the cool that I'm talking about. I'm talking about keeping your cool when we get angry or when we're in a difficult situation.
Okay, I agree that when things heat up, it can be difficult to keep our cool sometimes.
God calls us to show love, be slow to anger, be kind to others, and with His help, we can stay as cool as the Arctic wind no matter what we face.
I know the perfect Bible story that will help to illustrate staying cool no matter what.
Who are you thinking about?
Let's tell the story of Daniel.
Great idea.
Thank you. Like we didn't work that out before.
Daniel was a guy who stayed chill, and it would have been very easy for him to lose his cool. Daniel had a very stressful job. He had been taken from his home in Israel as a young boy. He was taken away from his parents, his home, and everything he knew. He could have really lost his cool.
Now, others noticed how chill Daniel really was. And over the years, he was given more and more responsibility. Eventually, he became one of the king's top 3 advisors. Now, the king was actually even getting ready to make Daniel the head over all of his men.
Of course, this made the other advisors and the rest of the king's men angry. So they came up with a plan to get Daniel out of the picture. They knew that Daniel only prayed to God and only worshiped Him.
So these men, these jealous men, convinced the king to issue a law that for 30 days no one could pray to or worship anyone but the king. Anyone who disobeyed would be thrown into the lion's den.
Now the king liked the way that sounded, so he issued the law. Once the king issued a law, it could not be changed, even by the king himself.
If we all had to live with a new law like this, many of us would probably lose our cool. But Daniel did not. Daniel knew that God was in control, so he remained chill.
This story can be found in the book of Daniel, chapter 6, verses 10 through 27, where it is written, "Now, when Daniel learned the decree had been published, he went home to his upstairs room where the windows opened toward Jerusalem. 3 times a day, he got down on his knees and prayed, giving thanks to God, just as he had always done before."
Then this jealous group of men went and found Daniel praying and asking God for help. So they then went to King Darius and spoke to him about the royal decree. They said, "Did you not publish a decree that during the next 30 days, anyone who prays to any god or any human being except to you, your majesty, would be thrown into the lion's den?" The king responded, "The decree stands in accordance with the law of the Medes and the Persians, which cannot be repealed."
Then they said to the king, "Daniel, who is one of the exiles from Judah, pays no attention to you, your majesty, or to the law you put in writing. He still prays 3 times a day." When the king heard this, he was greatly distressed. He was determined to rescue Daniel and made every effort until sundown to rescue him.
Then this group of men went to the king Darius and said to him, "Remember, your majesty, that according to the law of the Medes and the Persians, no decree or edict that the king issues can be changed."
So the king gave the order, and they brought Daniel and threw him into the lion's den. The king said to Daniel, "May your God, whom you serve continually, rescue you."
A stone was brought and placed over the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet ring and with the rings of his nobles, so that Daniel's situation might not be changed. Then the king returned to his palace and spent the night without eating, without any entertainment being brought to him, and he could not sleep.
At the first light of dawn, the king got up and hurried to the lion's den. When he came near the den, he called to Daniel in an anguished voice, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve continually, been able to rescue you from the lions?"
Daniel answered, "May the king live forever. My God sent his angel, and he shut the mouths of the lions. They have not hurt me, because I was found innocent in his sight. Nor have I ever done any wrong before you, your majesty."
The king was overjoyed and told orders to his men to lift Daniel out of the den. And when Daniel was lifted from the den, no wound was found on him, because he had trusted in his God.
At the king's command, the men who falsely accused Daniel were brought in and thrown into the lion's den, along with their wives and their children. And before they reached the floor of the den, the lions overpowered them and crushed all their bones.
Then King Darius wrote to all nations and peoples of every language in all the earth, "May you prosper greatly. I issue a decree that in every part of my kingdom, people must fear and reverence the God of Daniel."
King Darius continued, "For he is the living God, and he endures forever. His kingdom will not be destroyed. His dominion will never end. He rescues and he saves. He performs signs and wonders in the heavens and on earth. He has rescued Daniel from the power of the lions." And this ends at the 27th verse of this chapter.
Wow. That new law said that no one could pray to God. That was not right. So Daniel broke the law. He prayed 3 times a day to God. Now, I confess, if it were me, I might have prayed in secret, so no one knew I would be breaking the law.
But in the story that we just related to you, Daniel was not scared. He knew that God was in control. He opened up the windows to his house so everyone could see that he indeed was praying to God. Even when Daniel was arrested and brought before the king, Daniel knew God was in control. Even when the king had Daniel thrown into the den of lions, Daniel knew God was in control. Even when God sent the angel to shut the lion's mouth, Daniel could definitely see God was in control. Daniel never lost his cool.
Now, think about the challenges that we are facing today. What obstacles stand in our way? Perhaps you are facing some troubles at home. Maybe there are difficulties at work or school or at church. Perhaps there's a conflict you have with one of your friends. You wonder how you're going to get through it. You don't know how things will end.
Honestly, none of us know what tomorrow is going to bring. But we can keep our cool knowing that God is in control. We can turn to God. We can pray to God as Daniel did and ask for his peace to be in our hearts as God works out all the details. We can pray for wisdom and courage to do whatever God may need us to do in a given situation.
We can read the Bible to find out what God may want to tell us. We can reach out to godly adults that God has put in our lives and ask for their help. and we can chill. God is in control. He loves you and he will take care of you. We can trust that God is looking out for you and looking out for us. We all face challenging times, but God is always in control. Always.
This week, when we all face those obstacles and difficulties that we may encounter, we need to say to ourselves, I don't have to stress. I can stay chill. I can keep my cool because God is in control. Now let us end in a word of prayer.
Dear God, thank you for the gift of living today. We don't know what will happen tomorrow, but we know that you are in control. Whatever obstacles we face, help us to keep our cool and to remember that you are in control. Please give us the courage and wisdom of Daniel in our daily lives.
You may add your personal intentions at this point.
Amen. Thanks for being with us this week. And remember, no matter what's going on in your life, God is there. Just talk to him.
Take care, everyone. See you next week. Facebook and YouTube, same time, same channels.
Bye.
Bye now.